Welcome to our quick guide on finding the areas of different planar figures. Today, we'll cover squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, trapeziums, parallelograms, ellipses, and sectors. Let's dive right in and master these concepts together. First up, the square. A square is a unique shape where all four sides are of equal length. This makes it quite straightforward to calculate its area. To find the area of a square, we simply multiply the length of one side by itself. So, if each side of the square is, say, 4 units long, the area would be 4 times 4, which equals 16 square units. Next, let's look at the rectangle. A rectangle has opposite sides that are equal in length. To find its area, we need to multiply its length by its width. For example, if the length is 5 units and the width is 3 units, the area would be 5 times 3, which equals 15 square units. Now let's move on to the triangle. Triangles might look a bit tricky, but finding their area is quite simple. The area of a triangle is half the product of its base and height. So, if the base is 6 units and the height is 4 units, the area would be half of 6 times 4, which equals 12 square units. Next, we have the circle. The area of a circle is calculated using the formula p times the radius squared. Remember, the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to any point on its edge. If the radius is 3 units, the area would be p times 3 squared, which equals 9p square units. Now, let's look at the trapezium, also known as a trapezoid in some regions. To find its area, add the lengths of the two parallel sides, divide by 2, and then multiply by the height. For instance, if the parallel sides are 7 units and 5 units, and the height is 4 units, the area would be half of 7 plus 5 times 4, which equals 24 square units. Next is the parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is found by multiplying its base by its height, similar to the rectangle, but here the height is the perpendicular distance from the base to the opposite side. So, if the base is 8 units and the height is 3 units, the area would be 8 times 3, which equals 24 square units. Let's move on to the ellipse. The area of an ellipse is found using the formula p times the product of its semi-major axis and semi-minor axis. The semi-major axis is the longest radius of the ellipse, and the semi-minor axis is the shortest. If the semi-major axis is 5 units and the semi-minor axis is 3 units, the area would be p times 5 times 3, which equals 15p square units. Finally, we have the sector of a circle. A sector is like a slice of pizza. To find the area of a sector, use the formula 1/2 the radius squared times the angle in radians. So, if the radius is 4 units and the angle is p3 radians, the area would be 1/2 times 4 squared times p3, which equals 8p to 3 square units. And there you have it. We've covered how to find the areas of squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, trapeziums, parallelograms, ellipses, and sectors. Each shape has its unique formula, but with practice, you'll master them all in no time. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be calculating areas like a pro!